Hello everybody, this is Sarfaraz once again from the IELTS Spell Online. Hope everybody is doing pretty well. Well students, today the topic of this video is again the English fluency bit. And you know that these English fluency bits are quite crucial for our speaking. If you really want to sound like a native, you really want to sound like an English person, so you need to use these English fluency bit in order to emphasize more, in order to bring the proficiencies in your speaking, and in order to bring the beauty in your way of speaking English. Okay, you can also use the same English fluency bits in your examination, especially the speaking part. Okay, but don't try to use them into the writing because these are only the spoken phrases. Okay, so without wasting time, let's get started. So students, the first English fluency bit is on cue. It's already written here, you can see that. Okay, so is on cue, C-U-E. On cue means whenever you are instructed or whenever you are directed to do something. Okay, for example, yesterday I was filming a movie and my actor had to say hello, how are you, on my cue, right? So on cue. So why didn't you reply me anything on cue? So these are the words. Okay, these are the sentences how you're supposed to speak. Well, yesterday I was in the class and I did not speak anything unless my teacher cued me to speak, right? So on cue. If I'm a teacher, you're a student and you're not replying me, and the next day I am asking you because you did not get a good grades in your examination, and now you're asking me what was the reason for getting the bad grades. So I would reply, I asked you yesterday the question and you didn't reply me on cue, so I did not give you good marks. So on cue. Well students, the next word is quite an American word and quite an American spoken vocabulary. Okay, and it's a bit informal, but you can use it as a formal one, and that is dapper. What is it? Dapper. 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 What do you mean by dapper? Means the person who is very handsome, the person who is very good looking. Okay, right now I don't look dapper at the moment, but if I wear the suit, if I wear the coat and wear the black and or blue tie on a white shirt, so obviously I'll look dapper. So there is a man who entered in the party. Well, look at him, he's a dapper. So that is dapper, handsome. Well, the next word is, the next fluency bit is half decent. Half decent. What is half decent? Not very good, just okay, right? Half decent. You can use this word both for the non-living things, for the living things, for the person, for the woman, for the men, whosoever, for the situations, for the films, whatsoever. Yesterday I went to the movie and one of my friends next day asked me, how was the movie? Well, it was half decent. Means not very good, but it's okay. That's it. Right? So one more thing that we have got, we have one more example of half decent is, there was a man I met yesterday in my college, and he looks half decent to me. That's why I did not hire him. Half decent, just okay, not very good. Okay. Well students, the next fluency bit is loud clothing. Loud clothing sounds quite weird. Okay, loud clothing means the person who is wearing a t-shirt, and it is a dark pink t-shirt having lots of flowers on it, and lots of penguin or a dragon is made on the shoulders, and it has got a lot of heavy sort of designs. So that is basically known as loud clothing. Okay, so loud clothing, right? Yesterday I went to the party and everyone was quite decent there. They were all wearing quite a formal dress, but suddenly a boy entered with a freaky hair, with big like red glass and a pink t-shirt, a dark pink t-shirt with a lot of designs on that. So everybody was looking at him, and because everybody was looking at him because he was basically a loud clothing. He was having a loud clothing. He was wearing a loud clothing. Okay, loud clothing. You can have this in the descriptions. Okay, next. Well, the next phrasal verb is a kind of an English fluency bit as well, but it's a phrasal verb, and it is to pull off. To pull off, to do something quite tricky, to do something quite difficult, or to manage or be able to do something in a very successful way, which is quite tricky, or which is quite difficult, or which is quite unexpected to be done. Okay, to pull off. For example, it's just an example. Okay, so for example, I am a diamond thief. Okay, and I have planned to steal a diamond from a shop, and obviously when I would go to the diamond shops, there would be so many cameras and surveillance and so many guards and shopkeepers, and so many people would be all around. So I managed to steal that diamond. So I put it off. I just pulled it off. How did you get this diamond? Well, I just pulled it off, you know that. So this is how the pull off means, okay? You are trying to get a good grades. Despite your so many efforts, you were unable to do it after twice, thrice, or 4 times or 5 times of appearance in the examinations. God forbid that, okay? So 4 or 5 times appearance in the examinations, you are still unable to do it. So later, you just fasten your seatbelt and gather up your courage and just started doing it once again and once and for all, and finally you got the good grades. So how did you do it? I just pulled it off. This off. Okay. Well, this fluency bit is quite an American phrase, and it is basically out there. Out there. It is somewhat associated with loud clothing. So it has a close meaning of it, okay? So what is basically out there means, again, I would go to the party, and the example of the party here. Yesterday I went to the party and everyone was wearing quite a decent dress, but one person with a freaky hair and very loud clothing entered into the party. He was out there. Why? He looks quite different than others. So whenever you do something, whenever you look something quite different than others, so it is known as you're out there. That means you look quite different from others out there. That's all about today's video. Hope you might have got a bit help toward making your English speaking sounds like a native, okay? And watch all of these things, listen it again and again, and you can watch my previous video for more English fluency videos. Okay, so see you soon with some other fruitful videos. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.